I'm just thinking back, like having this conversation is really bringing it back to like all the sacrifices that we have had, all the sacrifices that we have had to make on our journey to building generational wealth. Like even when you purchased, your first home at a really young age, and then we took our whole family and lived there with your parents in order to get to the next level in life.
Right.
That was a big sacrifice. Or when we, have to come up with a plan and save and stop doing certain things to get to the next level in life. It comes with a sacrifice.
You can't be willing to want something more than you're willing to work for it. Yeah, Glow. Ain't no competition.
Yeah, Glow.
Cuban on Cuban.
Yeah, Glow. New favorite song right now.
Right.
Glorilla did her big one.
Welcome back to another episode of the Big Dog Talk Podcast. It's me, your favorite, Big Charles.
We gonna let him have that moment, but we know who y'all really love. It's your girl, Big Shay, and I'm back in the building.
Why are you always trying to make this a competition between you and I?
It's a competition. It's a competition.
It's no competition.
Who do you love?
Golly, y'all see what I have to deal with?
Are you for sure?
That's probably that Scorpio in you.
Who do you love?
Always want attention. Always want attention.
I get it.
Yeah, you work for it too. Huh?
Yeah, Glow.
Cuban on Cuban. What's up, y'all, man? How y'all feeling, man? Y'all see we feeling good. Big Shay over here abusing me today, putting her hands on me.
Yeah. You don't want to tell him why, but we're going to leave it at that.
What? You don't want to tell him why?
I need my nails done.
Please don't start. Please
I need my nails done.
But you got your hair done.
Yep, I got my hair done.
Speaking of hair.
What?
Speaking of hair, I'm gonna get personal. It's probably catch you off guard, but I got a vent because most of the time you dismiss me when I bring it up to you. Can you please stop leaving your wig on the back of the door? I'm serious. No, listen to me. Listen, I want you to hear my story and have some compassion and listen for understanding. I came upstairs, babe. I went upstairs to the room. It was dark. I went to go turn the light on. I turned the light on, and I went to go grab my robe. And when I went to go grab my robe, the wig was on the back door staring at me. I could have sworn we was preparing for Halloween or something, the way that thing was looking at me.
First of all, you're going to put some respect on her name is Love.
See, I didn't even know Love was even in the house.
Yes, you know her. She's my newest addition.
But I didn't know Love was just going to be anywhere she want to be in the house.
But you know how I get when I get a new wig. You know.
Listen, you can put the wig up in the closet. You can put it under the bed. You can put the wig in the garage. You can put the wig outside.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
No, listen, though. You don't have...
She custom made. Put some respect.
I know, but do you have to leave her hanging up with my robe on side of my robe, though? Do you have to do that?
I'll see what I can do.
Put the wig up somewhere.
I will see what I can do. She just came back from New York. I will see what I can do.
I mean...
She just went on a road trip.
I like Love. I like Love. Love is sexy on you.
Yeah.
But you got to warn me and prepare me that she's going to be hanging on the door like she's on a clothes rack.
Okay, she's got a little while longer left. She's still new. We just came back from New York. Give me a little bit more time with Love, okay?
So if you would have spoke to me when like that.
It's almost time for Shayance to come out for the spring.
Women, why do y'all got to have so many wigs?
I put Whitney up for a little bit.
You have long, beautiful hair. Why do you need a wig?
You sound like my dad when I was in New York.
Beautiful hair. Why do you need a wig? Your hair is long, it's healthy, it's thick. People would like to cut your hair and sell it. Why do you need a wig? I don't understand.
My dad asked me the same question. We was getting dressed. I came back out the room with my wig on. He was like, I like that. But Shavon, why do you have to? You have beautiful thick hair.
We don't understand it.
Y'all don't, and it's not meant for you guys to understand.
We
But
don't
sometimes
understand
I want a different look, and I want to keep my hair. I enjoy my natural hair, but sometimes I want a different look, and the wigs help me do that.
I mean, I'll see if you was wearing the wigs for role play in a room.
Here we go. You know what?
I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying if you wanted to use them for role play, that's one thing. But you ain't using them for role play. You using them to go outside.
And an accessory. Helps to bring out my outfits.
Fellas, we don't understand it.
And
ladies, we don't understand it.
Sorry. And fellas, y'all don't understand. You said it right the first time.
We don't understand it at all.
It's okay.
But I just need you to respect us a little bit more. If you're gonna have wigs all over the house, have them put
now
up
you
somewhere.
talking. Now you doing a lot. They're not all over the house.
That's not my first time running into your wigs, though.
They're not all over the house.
But is it? But that's what it seemed like when I keep running into them.
They're in my room.
I didn't even know this one name, babe. That's all I'm saying. There's a stranger in my house. Anyway, man. Anyway, I'm feeling good. I'm excited.
Shout out to Love.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man.
She my new look.
Shout out to all of the wig owners.
Yes.
Put them up somewhere. Shit.
She's not going in the wig bag.
Put them
anyway.
Up. I ain't gonna talk about all of the money y'all spend on them damn wigs.
Anyway.
Damn investment.
Yep. That's why she gets to hang right there.
But no, put her up. Anyway, I'm excited.
Now that you got that off your chest, I'm glad you're excited. What are you excited about, Big Charles?
Well, last week we talked about the 3 wins, how we check in.
Yep.
But I wanted to share one of my main wins to the family.
Yeah.
I wanted to share a win with y'all real quick.
Big Charles is working.
Yeah. So listen, all of you guys heard Big Shay and I talk before on how we have a child that graduated and went to school on the full ride academic scholarship.
Shout out to
Prairie View A&M.
The Prairie View A&M.
Yay.
Texas.
So what Big Charles done? I created an e-guide on how to walk your child step by step to get in a full ride academic scholarship to an HBCU.
Shout out to all the HBCUs.
I did this for one reason, for you to change the trajectory of your family financial legacy. Nobody deserves to start off life debt and broke. I have friends that graduated with the doctors, lawyers,
you name it,
dentists, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. My daughter was able to go to school on a full ride academic scholarship. She graduated. Not only did she graduate on a full ride academic scholarship, but she was able to save thousands of dollars.
They literally paid her to go to school
in her savings account when she graduated.
Yeah.
You guys cannot afford to go to the website, bigdogtalkpodcast.com. Click the link.
What's the website again?
bigdogtalkpodcast.com.
First of all, pause. I need you got to check that out anyway.
Click the link. The e-guide is only $14.97. You cannot afford not to buy this e-guide. Simple, practical steps. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I guarantee you it's simple, practical steps that give you the tools, the resources, the strategy on how you work with your child to save them thousands of dollars. Click the link, $14.97.
Come on now.
This will be the best investment of your life. I did this for one reason, to change your family financial legacy. Big Charles!
Your book is ready!
Yeah! I love you, man.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That wasn't even scripted.
None of this stuff is scripted.
It's everywhere.
Oh, my bad.
Anyway, man. Oh, man. Let's get into it. People, they probably like, man, it's already 10 minutes and they ain't even into nothing yet.
We talking good. So, I mean, you talking about the ebook,
right,
which I think is a great segue into the transition that you want to go in today, which is to talk about generational wealth.
Yes.
And so I think that, we've been getting real transparent and real intimate with our listeners and our viewers and our community in 2024.
Yeah.
So I think, in order to make this like super relatable, I think it's important for us to share our story, because when you met me, she had really bad credit.
Right.
She was a single mom, right? I had a really good job though, right? Like I was in corporate America making really good money to take care of, our daughter and I. But she is me, third person. She had no idea on how to build generational wealth. I just didn't. What I did know how to do was I knew how to um, make some money, work my way up in corporate America to make some good money to take care of my responsibilities. Make sure, my daughter and I had a roof over our head. We had transportation. We had food, basic needs. You know what I mean? I knew how to do that, right? I'd gone to college, got my degree, and got a really good job. I knew how to do that. But I really did not have, I knew that I knew credit was important, but even when I went to college, stepped on, shout out to Livingstone College. That's my HBCU in Salisbury, North Carolina. I stepped on the campus of Livingstone College. My parents dropped me off, right? That whole week, there was like a table offering us a credit card. I didn't know nothing about credit. That was nothing that was talked about in my home growing up. I didn't know. So I'm like, credit card, tell me about it. I'm like, all right, yes, I want it.
Wow.
So I applied for the credit card and I got the credit card. And that was my first experience with credit. What did I do? Ran it up on silly stuff just to use it, not even having a job or the resources to think about paying it back. You know what I mean? Also, speaking of full academic scholarship, I did not have that when I went to college.
Slow down.
So I'm just talking.
Okay.
So I put myself through college with loans like everybody else that I
you were losing
knew.
me, but that makes sense now.
With everybody else that I knew. So now you got the credit card debt, right? Now you got the student loans accumulating and accumulating and accumulating.
Wow.
With no plan on how I'm ever going to pay this back. But this was the only option that I had in order to attend college, right? So thinking about it, I went to college. I was 17 years old when I stepped on that campus. And then I, matriculated, and, you talking about somebody that's 17, 18, 19 years old, living out of state, trying to make it work, needing to take out loans to attend college. So already by the age of 20, I had already accrued thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. So by the fast forward, by the time you met me, she was knee deep in debt.
Right.
Knee deep in debt.
Yeah.
Just as a little synopsis of how it can start, how it can start young when you are not educated on credit or even being taught how to utilize credit, or that there's opportunities for full academic scholarships at HBCUs.
Oh.
Yes.
Your life, you started off in debt.
I started off really young.
And when you met Big Charles, I had a little pocket change, but I didn't have the education that you had. I had an associate's degree. I was only making $24,000, $36,000 a year.
Right.
No debt. And I always knew that I wasn't a person, and you can cut me off or tell me if this is the wrong mindset to have, but so far it worked for me. I wasn't the person that I didn't believe in school. And the reason I said that, because I remember being in high school and my English teacher, who was one of my favorite teachers, would always be depressed about how he didn't have any money. And I remember him pushing education, pushing getting your degree. And I was a server at 16 years old, making $400 a night at the casino. 16 years old. And my teacher, who was pushing me to get a degree, was always crying about not making enough money. And I remember being in his classroom while he said, everybody should go to school to get a degree. I pulled out like $2,000 out of my pocket, 16. And I remember saying, Mr. B, why would I go to school to get a degree and I have more money than you right here? And I wasn't being a jerk. I wanted it to make sense to me. And when I pulled out my money, he looked at me in almost like in a deep, like it was an awakening.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, Charles. I just never believed in a system. I never believed. I didn't believe in getting in thousands of dollars of debt to make 60, 80, $90,000. I didn't know anyone that was really successful that went to school and was like living a great life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but to rewind it though, and what made me really have a deep desire for creating a foundation for generational wealth is just watching my parents struggle so much. You know,
But can I backtrack? You didn't have debt, and you
yeah.
also had amazing credit.
I know I'm going to get there.
Oh, okay.
I had amazing credit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any debt. I
Mm-hmm.
only had an associate's degree. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't making more than $36,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that a job wasn't going to pay me what I was worth. At a young age, I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so fast forward, when you and I got together, you were making good money.
Mm-hmm.
I had good money.
Mm-hmm.
You had bad credit. I had good credit. We both come from nothing,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But we both had a discussion. Okay, we need to lay the law down, a foundation down for generational wealth. And now we're here.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really like earlier on in our relationship, as we're building up, you know, building this up with our story. I don't remember early on us having a direct conversation about building generational wealth. What I do remember is you being intentional about kind of discovering where I was financially, right? How much money do you have saved?
Right.
How much money do you make? How much debt do you have? I know this is hard, but what is your credit score? Conversations like that, which was the shift in mindset for me, because it caused a little bit of friction early on because I wasn't used to even having conversation around money with somebody that I was dating. Never came up.
I don't really think you had. I don't even really think you ever discussed money.
Right. So that's
So-
why I said that. I feel like you came in.
Because I've always I did, and the reason being because again, I did come in and I came in asking all of the hard questions because I already had in my mind generational wealth.
So that's what I was trying to get to.
Why? Because I watched my parents struggle so much.
Right.
You know, it was one of the worst things that you can for a child is to watch their parents struggle. If you just think about it, all of the athletes that we look up to, what is the first thing that they want to do when they make a lot of money?
Buy their parents a house.
But they don't realize it's because they have been conditioned to watch their parents struggle.
Right.
So my thing is you either gonna be inspired by watching the struggle or you're gonna be a part of the struggle. So I had to pick my choice of struggle, and mine was to create generational wealth. I never wanted my kids to be able, to go through some of the stress,
Mm-hmm.
that I had to go through coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it only made sense for when you and I get together, we got to have a foundation. And if we didn't discuss it, I was calling you out on something. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And that was me laying the foundation for generational wealth.
Right. So I said that to say that in the beginning, it wasn't about like having a direct conversation, but the way that you entered into the relationship, speaking about you, there was already a clear focus
Right.
on like the kind of partner that you wanted.
Right.
Were they willing to have these conversations? Because financial literacy was really important to you the moment we started to take our relationship to another level.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to get to. Like for me, yeah, I always say like there's more than one way to skin a cat. So for me, I was just inspired to create a better life for myself and my child at the time. And so my strategy obviously was I'm going to go to college. You know what I mean? I'm going to get a good job. and be able to take care of us, right? And not present not present the struggle that I was used to,
So
right? And a lot of people think like that, but I'm saying this to say there's another level to it, is what you brought in.
So here's the thing. What is life when you just living it for a meaning just for you and your child? What is life? What is life when I'm just living it for me and my family? Why we created this podcast, not for our family, but for those listeners, and to be an example. Like, if we're doing it, you can do it as well,
Right.
So for me, life has always had more meaning than just myself.
Right.
I've always wanted to see others succeed.
Yep.
That's who I am.
Yep.
So coming into it, we discussing it. We go in, we make a plan for it. And then we start working out the plan.
Yep. So essentially, you came in. You've already had the mindset for this, and you helped to shift my mindset because I didn't have that generational wealth mindset. So you brought that into our relationship, and then it became like a top priority. Like, everything at that point, everything that we did and how we moved and how we operated and how we executed then became about how to create generational wealth.
It was a priority for me the entire. It was a priority for me, the entire time. Like when I came in, but when you said, when you and I locked in, it was time to like shift gears. And this is the point where we're getting to. It's time for everyone to shift gears. No one is coming to save us. It's time for us to make up in our mind that we have to choose our suffering. We will either want to work hard and create a plan to create generational wealth for yourself and those that's coming after you, or do we want to struggle and just live a day-to-day life and think for yourself and be in debt for the rest of your life until you leave this earth?
Right.
So this is why I wanted to have this conversation with the podcast. This is like a call to action. Let's wake up, because I realize that we live in a reality where we just believe like a miracle is just gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna go to the bingo and I'm gonna hit jackpot. I'm gonna go to the casino. When no, you can do practical things to change your life, and it just takes one person.
Yep.
To change the legacy of your life. Are you going to make the sacrifices?
Are you going to be that person?
What does it take?
Right.
So.
I mean, I'm just thinking back, like, having this conversation is really bringing it back to like all the sacrifices that we have had, to make on our journey to building generational wealth. Like, even when you purchased, your first home at a really young age, and then we took our whole family and lived there with your parents in order to get to the next level in life.
Right.
That was a big sacrifice. Or when we, have to come up with a plan and save and stop doing certain things to get to the next level in life. It comes with a sacrifice.
You can't be willing to want something more than you're willing to work for it.
Can't. That's very true.
We bought our first. We come from nothing. We bought our first house at 24. I was 24 when we got the first house.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And again, this is not no flex. We bought our first house at 24, but we had a game plan.
And you got it for a reason, to create
generational
wealth.
I wanted to make sure I was able to leave something for my children.
Yep. That's why.
I wanted to have something.
Yep.
That said, this is the hard work Dad put in. This is the sacrifice from Daddy.
Yep.
And then when we got the first house, you get one, you're able to get two. You get two, you're able to get three. You start learning certain things.
Yes.
And that was created a wealth legacy for us.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we got more intentional because I start reconditioning my mindset and I wanted to live a meaningful life, a life of value, a life of purpose. And I remember you coming home one day No, you were home one day, and I came home, and you were sitting in a chair like sad, and I kept watching you, and I had already been watching you for like a year of grinding and working hard. We just want more for our family. We want better than what we had,
Right.
our experience. We want our kids to experience better than what we experienced. And I remember you just working these countless days, these long hours, barely seeing us.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just months going by, a year go by. I remember praying, God, put it on me. If I can't just allow my wife to just keep working like this. But one day you were at home sitting down on the chair, and I said, what is it that you want to do with your life? And you start crying, and you was like, I don't know. I don't know. Now,
It's
you and I
true.
never discussed this before.
Never.
Never discussed it. Then you was like, I always wanted to have my own child care.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly,
Yep.
your husband said, that's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's going to be the thing that changes our legacy.
Yep. Amen to that. Amen.
Right?
Yep. 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 That was the one.
That was the one. Before we even dive into that, though, I want to share with our listeners, though, how in order to even have wealth, you have to recondition your mind to even be positioned to receive wealth.
Right. What do you mean by that, Big Charles?
A lot of us don't go past I want the flyest shoes. I want the flyest car. I want the flyest house. I want the flyest of things. Like we buy things that we don't need.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have and this is not no shade at nobody. We'll have an apartment, but we'll have 2 car payments.
Right.
We'll have a home with 2 or I know educated people that have a nice house, 3 nice cars with 3 nice car notes,
Mm-hmm.
and still poor.
Yep. House poor. They call it house poor. Yeah, it's a thing.
So before we even dive into on how we created this new level of generational wealth for us, I just wanted to make sure that I make it clear. The only way that you can prepare for wealth is by reconditioning your mind to be ready for wealth.
This is true. This is true.
But let's talk about your grind and what it took to create the childcare and the struggle behind it.
Man. So after that aha moment, you know what I mean? And you asked me, what is it that you want to do? And I said, I've always wanted to have my own childcare with tears running down my face. And you said that's it. And so through your with your support in that moment and knowing that this is something that I have had in the pipeline in my mind for at that point, it probably had been for about 4 or 5 years.
And I never knew it.
I had even created so much so I had even created an account.
Mm-hmm.
And that account was putting money aside to one day start my own childcare. And so the funny thing about it is that when I finally decided to dive in, really acknowledging that this was the next phase for our lives and understanding how it would change the trajectory for, the next step of our lives, I was fearful.
Mm-hmm.
What if it don't work? Who's going to want me to educate and care for their children? What's going to make me so qualified to do this? And you would always tell me, look at your own children. Look what you've produced with your own children. I've watched you the entire time educate and be their number one teacher. So all you have to do is walk in, the calling that you have, and everything else is going to fall into place. I still didn't know where to start. I didn't know what was step one. It was so many logistical things that had to be done in order to get to the point where I could actually open and operate as a business. With your support, I took it one step at a time, communicated with you along the way. You helped me tap into my creative, ability in order to create a space that was welcoming, that was child friendly, that would make families feel comfortable with me being their child care provider. And I had to go and take some, personal development, classes, because I had been in a corporate job. And so anything that I do, I always want to make sure that I'm constantly learning. And so stepping into this new field, I wanted to further self-develop to make sure that I had the tools, the knowledge, and the wisdom to provide comfort to families, to know that they were leaving their children with someone that was absolutely going to value and take their development as a number one priority.
Okay, so listen. What was it because in the beginning you said, as soon as I decided to take my steps, the first thing I heard was negative voices.
Negative voices. This not gonna work. Nobody's gonna bring their children to you.
This is the point I want to point out though. The first words that you heard was negative voices, and it didn't come from nobody but yourself.
Absolutely.
This is the thing that I want our listeners to see.
Yep.
We blame everybody else while we are not headed in the direction that we're supposed to be going in.
Correct.
Nobody discredited you. Nobody belittled you. Nobody told you nothing negative. The first person that told you something negative about your journey, about your calling, was self.
Was self.
If that's not a doggy treat.
Was self.
If that's not a doggy treat.
Getting over that hurdle in itself was the biggest part. I'll put it to you like that. That was the biggest step, to get over that negative talk that I was feeding myself about why this wasn't going to work and why I would leave my good old corporate job,
making six figures,
to go and do something and start at ground zero. Why would you do that? Why would you risk all of this for your family? Why would you do that? It's not even going to work.
Big Charles, what do you mean by reconditioning the mind? Prime example.
Yep.
Prime example. Recondition the mind. The first person that threw something negative at my wife when she decided to go after her dream was herself. It wasn't nobody else. Why do I preach recondition the mind? We are our own worst enemies.
Absolutely. Yep.
We don't even realize that we are our own worst enemy.
Yep. Once I start mentally connecting with the dream, mentally connecting with the vision, physically doing the steps that needed to be done, physically, action. I took action. Before I knew it, within maybe 3 months, I was opening up my business. 1 year after that, I expanded.
Well, hold on, we're going too fast. Number two. Call to action. You had the dream.
I had a dream.
You overcame the mental war that you were having with yourself by reconditioning the mind.
Absolutely. Shifting all that negative energy and putting it into connecting with the dream, connecting with the vision, and doing the action steps.
Number two, action steps. We can't hope for generational wealth.
There's no magic wand around here. Sorry.
I don't know, but we need to wake up. This is just, we live in a world where we just do not live in reality. Working for your legacy, generational wealth is what you're supposed to do. Suffering for it. Mm-hmm. Asking yourself, what suffering do I want to do? Do I want the suffering of working a 9-to-5 job because I'm not negating that. That was a good place.
Absolutely.
And if that's your call to duty, you stay there.
Pick your suffer.
Pick your suffer.
Yes.
So if you're gonna be at a 9 to 5, you work that 9 to 5 with a mindset of I'm gonna save some money for my future.
Yep.
I'm gonna save some money because I want to get this done.
Yep.
You have to pick your suffering. You were working 13, 14 hours a day, 12-hour days. You were gone all day, not seeing your children. So you decided to pick your suffering. You know what? I want to go after my purpose in life, something I always wanted to do.
Yes.
So you still had to suffer though, because you still complained about how hard it was. You still complained about how you were drained. You still complained about, I don't know if I can do this. You still complained that, what if this doesn't work?
Yep. I worked that business 1 year by myself.
Bare hands.
By myself with my children helping me clean up in the evening. Then leaving in the evening to go take developmental classes.
Call to action.
I picked my struggle.
You picked your struggle. Well, see, this is the thing about picking your struggle, though. So, what do you mean about picking your struggle? I don't want to talk about relationships today, but this is what we're going to go to. You say you want to be married,
right?
But the same person that you marry is the same person that you fight with as well. It's still a struggle there. You say that you want generational wealth. You still have to miss some days of going out. You still have to sacrifice hanging out with your friends. You still can't go out and go enjoy everything in that present moment because this is a long-term investment.
Absolutely.
You still have to pick your struggle. If you want to buy a house, you still have to work when it needs to be repaired. That's still a struggle.
Absolutely.
If you're out of shape and you have high cholesterol or high blood pressure and you have to go to the doctor, that's still a struggle.
Yep.
Or you can pick your struggle and say, you know what, I have high cholesterol, I have this, but I want to go to the gym. It's still a struggle to get up in the morning, to go and exercise, to eat healthy.
Yep.
But we have to pick our struggle, and you still have to put in some work.
Yep. Either way
it go.
Yep.
So this is why we want to lay the foundation of generational wealth and picking your struggle.
Yep.
Do you want to pick the struggle of just focusing on you and possibly leaving this earth and not leaving your children with anything, and they go through the same struggle that you had to go through? Or do you want to give them some new struggles?
Yes, I was going to say that.
Because honestly,
don't pick their struggle for them, though.
Ooh.
That's my thing. So when we do nothing and we work every day, we provide every day, and we're not thinking about generational wealth and what we're going to leave our children's children, we're already picking their struggle. That's not fair. That's not fair. I want my kids to pick their own struggle. And by laying down the foundation and talking about things with them, I feel pretty confident about the struggle they're going to pick. Because they then understand that they're continuing this journey of generational wealth for my great, 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 great grandkids.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing about reconditioning our minds to not just think about ourselves, not just think about instant gratification. Let's think about those that are connected to us.
Yeah.
If you're 20 years old, you're in a good position to start off debt-free, get a job. It can be any kind of job. Saving your money, making the sacrifices. Mm-hmm. You can be 40 years old. Saving your money, making the sacrifices, because here's the thing. If you recondition your mind, managing yourself, managing your money is more important than the amount of money that you make. I made $36,000 when we bought our first 2 houses.
Facts. But
I made the sacrifices. I wasn't out partying.
No,
I wasn't partying.
that wasn't the era that we were in.
I was saving,
Yeah,
working
in the house.
with a vision.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
now and then we'll treat ourselves.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we cannot have any excuse. Big Shay, in the beginning, you said you were your own worst enemy, basically. And we're not telling anyone to quit their job. We're saying it's time for us to recondition our mind,
Right.
because no one is coming to save us. You know, I'm broke. I don't have no money. Who, child? I don't have no money to buy that. You don't need it. And you're not broke. Your mindset is broke.
Broke is a mentality.
Your mindset is broke. I know successful people, meaning they have the degrees, they have the accolades, they making good money, and they are still broke. I know poor people as far as materialism that doesn't have as much, but they are happy. They have a family of value. They have a husband, a wife to come home to. They have their children that loves them. They have money that's put away for hard times. They have enough money to pass down to their children's children. They have these things. They have just, it may be 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 that they have saved up, but they're more happy than the person that have a $800,000 home with 3 car notes. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Generational wealth is a mindset. And it's time for us to take charge of our world, our legacy. And like Big Shay said, don't pick your children's struggle for them. Allow them to pick their own struggle. Give them new problems. We like having new problems.
We got new problems right now.
As long as you're working to solve them, that's where you find your happiness.
Look, 10 years from starting the business, now we got some new problems and some new things to solve as we speak.
Call to action. If you're 20 years old, you should be working on your next 5-year plan. Every decision that you make should be geared towards where you're going to be in 5 years. If you're 40 years old, this means you can't do the same thing that you were doing when you're 20, because you have a short amount of time to get where you need to go.
Yep.
So you have to become more disciplined, more focused.
Because I'm pretty sure at 40, there's more balls in the air that need to be juggled versus
more
20.
responsibilities.
Yes.
You know,
but it's still possible.
If you're 60 years old and you're starting from scratch, minimum, you should be working on clearing up your debt. If you don't have anything to offer, you should be working on clearing up your debt, saving up some money.
Yep.
Getting a life insurance policy.
My goodness.
Remember that when we got our first?
That was a big
accomplishment.
That was a big deal and a big accomplishment for us when we acquired life insurance policies. Like, it was such a monumental moment for us, you know, and that's something that we continue to still constantly reevaluate and discuss and still plan around, because it's necessary. One thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. We gonna live and we gonna die.
We might as well pass down the next generation new problems.
Yes.
You don't have to feel bad wherever you are in life. You don't have to feel bad. You only should feel bad if you're not working towards changing the direction that you're going in. If you're working every single day to be better and to change the situation for yourself and for those after you and around you, then don't compare to others, but you have to start thinking about these things that's bigger than self. New problems, new struggles.
And something that was intricate for me too along my journey, I know we kind of paused on a story, was, you know, connecting with people that have the same mindset.
Yeah.
That was so, when I tell you that was another powerful, pivotal moment in me and my journey to becoming a successful business owner, was partnering with someone that was on the same path as me and had the same mindset.
Mm.
Very huge. Find you a mentor, get you a coach. It makes a difference. Find you a peer.
It's a wealth hack, actually.
It's a huge hack.
A lot of us don't want to pay for coaching. We don't want to pay for financial literacy. We don't want to pay to learn. But we'll
Right.
pay for everything else.
Yes. That's
And
a hack.
that
right
is
there.
a hack. You know, and we go around saying, I didn't have no one to help me. I didn't have no one to teach me. I had nobody to teach me financial literacy.
You did not.
I had no one to mentor me.
See, that's not my story as it relates to.
I became what I was looking for.
Yep. That's your story.
I became what I was looking for. But here's the thing, though. That doesn't mean that they're not out there.
Oh, they're out there.
Because, you know, so listen, I have a friend, right? And he's a very successful entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And he was speaking to me, like giving me ideas, even about the Big Dog Talk podcast. And I wasn't talking too much. And he was just going on and on. I got some ideas for you, man. Just do this. You should do this. And I didn't have anything to say. I was just listening.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we come into contact with people that have ideas and information for us, but we're not listening. We are too busy trying to prove to them that we are just as smart as them. I don't have no one to teach me. That's a lie.
Yep.
You've had people to come into your life that want to give you game, but you were too busy talking. Shut your mouth.
Yep.
Listen, become a student. I didn't have anyone that just say, okay, I'm going to take your hand, I'm going to mentor you. But I've had so many people to come in my life.
That's right. You have. Yep.
To drop jewels in me and didn't know that they were teaching me. And I was just taking from them. Taking because I was recognizing that they had something in them that I did not have. They had some sort of knowledge in them that I didn't have. I can't say nobody wanted to help me. If you get rid of that mindset, that reconditioning of the mind that nobody want to help you, nobody may have not come to you and held your hand, but I guarantee an angel have came by and dropped some game off in your lap, and you was too hard-headed at the time. You was too stubborn at the time. You was too know-it-all at the time. You were too much in your ego at the time.
Too closed-minded at the time.
Too closed-minded at the time.
Yeah.
This is why we want to recondition your mindset, shift your awareness. Now I'm shifting your awareness. I'm open to it now.
Right.
You will know when it come in your path now.
That's right.
You will know when someone that comes in your life and they know more than you will shut your mouth. You will know when somebody is more experienced than you. You don't need to talk. It's not your turn to talk. It's your turn to be a student. We have no reason to shift our mindset and to start reconditioning our lives to have a life of value. No excuse. None whatsoever.
Another part of the plan, like I said, find you a mentor, find you a coach. You just elaborated on all of that. Read, educate yourself in the field or whatever it is that you think you're interested in. Read a book.
Nobody gonna do the work for you.
Educate yourself. Find you some free classes. You got to get out there and do the work. You have to.
You know what I find common though? When people want to start something,
Mm-hmm.
a new adventure,
Mm-hmm.
they expect everybody is supposed to help them with their adventure.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Big Shay to start the podcast for Big Charles. I just want to have a podcast. I'm gonna have someone to another person that, you know what, they're gonna start the childcare for me, but I just want to have a childcare. You cannot volunteer someone else to do your job. You have to get in. A lot of us don't want we like the fantasy of the trophy. We don't like the reality of what it takes to get the trophy, to get the financial independency. We don't to get the generational wealth, to get the physical health.
Right.
I want a body just like yours. You like the fantasy of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the work of it.
It's two different kind of people.
It's two different kind of people.
Yeah.
You desire about getting in shape. I love the work it takes to get in shape.
Yeah.
I love the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You love the fantasy.
Yep.
Oh, one day I'm gonna start me a business. You love the fantasy of starting a business.
Because baby.
One day I'm gonna have $10,000 in the bank. You love the fantasy it takes to get. You love the fantasy of having $10,000 in the bank, but you don't love the work and the sacrifice that it takes.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. This is true.
We have to wake up. And excuse me if I'm passionate about this. Excuse me if I'm passionate about waking your ass up and telling you you have to do the work yourself. I don't care what phase, what age you are, you still have to get up and do the work of becoming better each day.
At the end of the day, if there's still breath in your body and you still waking up every day, there's still time. There's still time.
You got to stop being lazy. Stop making excuses.
Tough conversations today.
You know, Big Charles, we call the action people. Listen, we got a little personal. We started off slow in the beginning because we was building up. We want you guys to get it. We come from nothing, and we're still working towards our goal, grinding every single day.
Man, we got new problems.
We have new problems, and successful people love new problems.
It's sexy.
It's sexy.
Sexy.
That's a sexy stress.
For me, that's a flex. Something new to solve and dig into and achieve and figure out. Like, what?
We have to wake up. We want life to just be peaches and cream. And that's not life. That is not life. Life is life is a roller coaster. Those things that we cannot change.
Can't control.
That is inevitable. And we cannot control it. But what we can do is we can control our struggle. We can prioritize what we give a damn about. I give a damn about my people that's connected to me. I give a damn about my listeners that are connected to me, that they are able to wake up from this episode and say, I'm gonna take control of my life. That's what I care about. I give a damn about my children, right, benefiting from the sacrifices that I make today. I give a damn about that. Yeah. I don't give a damn about having small talk. I don't give a damn about gossiping. I don't give a damn about watching TV and it does not certain things. Listen, you have no busy watching TV when you know that you have no busy watching TV. You have no busy partying. You have no busy doing anything that takes you off focus when you're not going in the direction of life that you want to go in.
That's true.
That is just the true fact. You have no business gossiping. You have no business doing anything other than focusing on making your life better. A lot of us we'll blame it on the system. We'll blame it on the economy. We'll blame it on the world. I found out, Big Shay.
We'll blame it on our childhood.
We'll blame it on our parents. We'll blame it on the people. I found out, Big Shay, when I stopped blaming my parents, when I stopped blaming my hood, when I stopped blaming others, everybody turned on me. When I took full control of my life, that's when things started lining up for me.
I love what you just said when you took full control of your life. That's the goal. Taking full control of your life and not allowing life to control you. Yeah, we've heard that before. It's actually probably a very cliche, quote, but you have to take control over your life.
Have to.
And control the things that you can control. And by doing that, you can get closer to the things that you desire to improve the quality of your life and the generations after you and the generations before us can celebrate. because we're the ones that decided to change the legacy. My call to action is for whoever's listening or watching today, you be that person. Be that person to make our ancestors celebrate. Be that person in your family to be the example of what can be done. Be that person in your community. Be that person for your children. Be that person for yourself.
We're not out here trying to flex, man. Listen, say that for them. Save that for them, not for you.
For real.
Let them go and flex their money, flex their cars, flex their houses,
they bags,
whatever. Let them go chase the bag. You live in purpose. And your purpose may be, I just want to have a job.
Yep.
I want to save money.
Yep.
I want to be comfortable. I want to leave enough for my children. It doesn't have to be so gigantic that it's not reachable.
That part.
Start off small. You know what? I just want to get my life in order. I want to focus on getting my life in order. I want to call someone, pay someone to help coach me. Where am I going wrong? Because I realize a lot of us don't even realize that we're going wrong. A lot of us don't even realize it. And it's time to just take control. I'm done talking about it.
I mean, just to wrap this up, you're listening to and you're watching two people that are dang near pleading, begging with you,
right,
to take control over your life, right? We're also willing to coach you in a sense, hold your hand through the process and coach you. Big Charles just talked about at the top of this episode, he has created a wonderful, wonderful ebook to help guide you in, if your starting point is your children, this is a tool that will help you make that your starting point. For $14.97, you can purchase the ebook on the website to start there.
Not even just that though, Big Shay. We also have a coaching link on the Big Dog Talk podcast.
Yep.
If you guys want coaching advice, go to the website, click the link. We are here for, listen, this is invest in yourself.
Yep.
Invest in yourself. Go to BigDogTalkPodcast.com. Click the link. You will get coaching sessions from Big Charles and Big Shay together.
Or separately.
We're basically begging.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to ignore that e-guide for $14.97. You cannot ignore the coaching sessions from Big Charles and Big Shay on the Big Dog Talk website. Go click the link. We want to help.
Yeah, Big Charles wake up every single day coming up with ideas.
How can I be of value?
How can I be of value? How can I help? How? He lives, sleep, and eat this, y'all.
I spend
no cap.
And I spend thousands of dollars on myself.
Thousands of dollars
for self-development, to learn.
To provide this.
So I can pour into you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely say, to wrap this up, you're looking at and listening to two people that absolutely don't feel like, we absolutely know that we are walking in our purpose.
And we can help you guys.
That's individually, and that's us purpose. Together.
We can help you guys. Guaranteed. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.